Welcome back to MMA Sucka Fight fans. My name is Nate Freeman, and I am joined today by the six-time World Nogi Jiu-Jitsu champion, Talita Alencar. She has two things coming up. One, she's tomorrow defending her flyweight title in Fight to Win against a game opponent in her first black belt match. And then second, she has an upcoming MMA fight with Titan FC in February. Talita, how are you doing today?
I'm outstanding. You?
I'm doing wonderful. So, like I mentioned, you have two things coming up. First of all, you're competing tomorrow. Can you tell us a little bit more about your Fight to Win title defense that's coming up? Talk about your opponent, how you see the event going, and all of that.
Yes, of course. I'm excited to go back to fight grappling tournament. I've been focused MMA so far. I totally changed who I am for the water for the wine, pretty much. Yeah, I will be competing in Atlanta. She's new in the black belt. She trains at Atos over there. I've been studying her a little bit. She's more like a high school wrestler. She's a good nogi player, flexible, but I'm definitely stronger, faster, and more experienced. So we don't know what's gonna happen. Fight's the fight, but we always hope to be winning in the end, and I'm confident that I am gonna be doing very well. And my MMA, I'm so excited. Like second time, and in the cage is so much emotions. Like I feel like so much things coming from my chest, my heart. You know, um, I'm definitely was made to fight for MMA because this is kind of who I am, aggressive person. I'm always outgoing, and for sure, being a Titan the second time makes me feel like how like I want to see how much I got better. Like from the last fight, and like how I'm gonna feel if I'm gonna control the excitement of being inside the cage again. It's like it's crazy. Let's go all over your body, top to your head to your feet. Um, yeah, I'm just really excited to test myself one more time and see if I can be in UFC soon, or maybe in a really big fight company.
Right. Yeah. We're looking forward to seeing that. You literally just got your opponent a couple of days ago for your Titan fight. Can you talk about what you know about her, and if there's anything that you're game planning around for her?
Oh, of course. It's like bad luck sometimes. Talk about what you're gonna do. But um, definitely, I sorry, right here. I expect to have a great first, second, or third round. Keep up with my striking, testing myself. But for sure, the main game is gonna be the grappling because there's no secret with this. But I plan to fight well, forward or moving backward, creating angles, doesn't matter, with grappling, and like strike extensions, of course. But my main game is pressure her, and get the fight done in the first round, like always. But I'm ready to go 3 rounds. She is like long, taller than me, of course. For sure, her safe range will be a bit more danger than a close range or a middle range. So we're expecting anything. I'm ready for anything that will bring to me.
Yes. So I know that this is your second MMA fight ever. Talk to me. I know also that I'm sure you're not entirely different, but you have gained new skills and all of that since your last fight. But what did you learn in your last fight that will make this outing so much better and such an easier process for you?
For sure, it's like what I said in the beginning. I changed like from do competitive jiu-jitsu like twice a day plus like drilling whatever from my schedule that I had before to a totally different schedule, to boxing, kickboxing, three different professors, but like each one of them work together because all my team, it's very dedicated to me. I believe that I won't be successful without them. We have a big game plan. For sure, they are working a lot in my boxing and my kickboxing. I actually am really good at kickboxing, uh, and like I like to box, and for sure I have to find the timing and like the speed, and think about a lot of options like offensive, defensive, like we spoke before. But what changed is I have to be more patient, read more, like punch and get out quick, and things that MMA requires to be around the fighter. And that's my goal: get a better performance than the last time. And I learned many things. Like I said, I cannot even tell a list of 50 things that I learned from the other match. So there's for sure a lot of lessons, and I'll be doing better this time.
And I'm sure you're going to be a little bit less nervous too, since you're not
Yeah.
trying it brand new for the first time. You feel a lot more comfortable too, I'm sure.
For sure, it's a big battle, like be a pro athlete, because I've been being a pro athlete since I was a child, and I know what's the feeling. But it's crazy when you stepping out in something else new and you see so much information already, what been happened for generations, MMA, since the MMA, and you like study these things. And I'm like a nerd when it comes to those things. If I'm dedicating to something, I'm like 100% in. Like my head is digging. I live from this. I literally live like I moved to a new house close by the gym, like for 5 minutes from the gym. So I have the good schedule of like, fuck, I can sleep like close by the train and just like live in the gym. That's what I do, you know? Like I am in the gym like 8 a.m. in the morning most of the time. And I leave at like 9. So like I leave from there. There's no other expectation of not winning this fight. I'm very confident. And I'm ready to get punched in the face, to get a knee, elbow, bring it in.
Are you ever really prepared to get punched in the face, or is that just something you're saying to just sort of amp you up for it?
No, I was always a problematic child. I was fighting in the school. I every time I fight out, my mom like slap a shit out of me home. I came for a aggressive like childhood, like living in the favelas in Brazil, and I think I'm the perfect person for this. That even because people characterize me as an aggressive person. So I learned how to channel this in the sports, and I become like my parents. Like it's not a sad story, and I'm not trying to. It's just who I am. And I'm using this energy to be talented to in something good. Like something that I believe. Of course, the best status for a parent is not your kids punch people to get money, or like, but it's not this. It's like I am a life fighter, since I was a child. So why not channel this energy in the right place?
That's right. And you spoke about this. You came from the favelas in Brazil, and you were quite literally living your dream now, living in California. Talk to me a little bit about a couple of different things, like what was your expectation of America when you moved here, and in what ways, both good and bad, has this country sort of defied what you were expecting of America coming into when you moved here?
um for sure, when I primarily came here, I was expecting only in competing because, like you said, I think you see too many. Like I said, you see too many of example of lives in Brazil. Like at least because I live there, I cannot talk otherwise. What you wouldn't want to be. Make sense? And I always be a dreamer. I always be like a believer if I get disappointed with things, you know. But I don't know. I always thought that I had to do something else, and it wasn't a place for me. But in the beginning, it was competition only, and I did all like my networking in the United States. I've been to many cities, and I see how things work. And the best thing about United States that people really believe in the sport in generally. They support like parents, like was pretty much the education, like how like dedicated you guys are, you know, like how committed to stuff that you guys are doing, and you really believe in the different purpose of course, not only financially, you know. So like stuff really work for you. So if I want to be somebody, I would have to go internationally. I couldn't be stuck in Brazil, you know. That's what I thought. I was like, I can do so many things, you know, like why I'm here. I'm not wasting my time anymore.
Yeah, and we're excited to have you here. Talk to me a little bit about maybe some culture shock experiences where things were not what you expected at all when you came here. Yeah.
Oh, like, what do you mean? Give me example. Mhm.
So I'm sure that Brazil has some type of has a certain way of thinking about how Americans are and how the country is and everything. Um, were there any things that when you got here that you were like, oh, it's nothing like what I thought it was?
Um, I did have a knowledge of like people's opinions about whatever, generally from America, but I'm the type of person that I only believe when I see it, and there is a lot of points because a lot of points that I'm critical about because I'm a very critical and strong person. Excuse me, McCarthy's in the door.
All right, we are back for round two with Talita Alencar. She's all weighed in and ready to go for fight to win tonight. Um,
Hello, guys. We're
yes.
back.
How are you feeling? How was the weight cut? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, tell me about the weight cut. How was the weight cut and everything last night?
Oh, I actually did not have to cut weight at all. I walk in this way 125. There was a pound allowance, and I was right on top 126. And was nothing like, you know, the girl that fight me, she's longer, and like we were speaking about her, she's a little bit longer and like tall. Everyone's taller than me, by the way. So she was the one who has to drop some weight, you know. Yeah, we were just studying her, me and Coach McCarthy.
Yeah, I heard that when you came on. I heard y'all going over a few things. I won't say anything about that, but
Sorry.
I'll be on the lookout for it when I watch it. So,
For sure.
um, getting back to our previous topic, we were talking about how your life has changed since you've moved to America and some of the differences that you've noticed as you have moved over here compared to Brazil, and how this country's sort of um, been
So
different
they're
a
like,
little bit than what you expected. Yeah. Um, so talk to me about maybe some of the places when you came here that you wanted to see. I know that you've been fighting and traveling the world. So you've done a lot of sightseeing and traveling, but when you came to America, was there anything in particular that you wanted to see or do?
honestly, no, because I was in Fortaleza doing like law school, and after like swimming there to get a scholarship, and in my time free at night, that's when I was training jiu-jitsu. And it was nothing like competitor. It was really like because I decided to do self-defense, and because my ex-boyfriend like kind of already was a brown belt, and he was like, oh, let's go train, I'm gonna give you a gi, and etc. And that's how we started. And I never really like when I was like younger. I never really like it because I was like, oh, there's so many sweaty people. I don't think I want this. But I was like literally doing days like I still doing a little bit of triathlon. I went like the university and after days he picked me up there and I was doing jiu-jitsu. So my life was like towards studying and sport. Always been, Um when I really get like into today's, I moved to Rio by myself because I wanted to compete like professionally, but I still a blue belt. And the difference was from like the small city that I was raised, and from Rio, that's big city. Like I'm going from like a small city to New York, and like it's just crazy. But the difference, like besides what we spoke before, like all the difference of Brazil to America, I never really planned to be a world champion. Never really planned to be doing MMA now, and I wish I had started early. I did have many people telling me this, or like when I was competing professionally and traveling to United States, only jiu-jitsu. I had like, a lot of friends and a lot of like coaches from other gyms saying like, "Man, you have such a good talent. Like, why you don't do MMA?" And I think I waste too much time, but I cannot pick up the time back, but I can make the time in the future. um, but however, your question about like what's the difference now, Talita Alencar, from what I was before competing and everything, definitely is having a support system, have an entire team that are working with you to make your dream come true in a professional way, not just mentally, but in all the aspects of training, from kickboxing range for Muay Thai, like the full range that we spoke, like safe, kickbox range, close and middle and close range. Definitely, I have like a few different codes that are overviewing every detail that I need to be work and that I need to be better from my last fights and day to day training. Definitely is having people like Coach McCarthy that travels with me in a simple grappling tournament. That's no need to be travel, and that I could definitely do by myself. But he came because he thinks that's essential to have a coach to be like supporting, not just like just for the company, but mm, to make sure that you have somebody with you. And I think without those people, I would not be successful. I wouldn't be where I am. And this also serves from the same thing in my career in jiu-jitsu. I was by myself, but I had many people through my journey in many cities and many places that I've been that helped me from the top of their heart, like they help just because they want to help me because I was talent. And I believe that all you need is somebody to believe in your potential, that you will shine.
And you've been lucky to have people like Charles McCarthy that's there with you, and just people along the way to um, sort of help you get to where you are. 6-time world jiu-jitsu champion, and making your second MMA appearance. Talk to me a little bit about um, just 1 second. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Um, Talk to me a little bit about. I saw a couple days ago the rankings came out for the nogi in your weight class, and you were ranked second behind none other than Fiona Davies, who you have competed against twice. You've won one, she's won one. I know she's competing on the upcoming Medusa card.
Yeah.
And is there any desire for you to try to break that tie to compete with her one more time?
Oh, definitely. Fiona Davies definitely on my dark list. Don't get me wrong. She is an amazing grappler. Her background, it's like crazy and can never like be as good at judo as her. Of course, if there is a 100% dedication of this type of grappling that I've been working because of her and because I want to be better in judo, um, definitely I think would be an exciting match. We primarily have a met in EBI, and I was being coached by Rubens Charles Cobrinha, and I think I did great because he was in my corner as well, and I hear he was a lot. And the entire match, that the first time that we fought, she was smashing a shit out of me, and somehow I woke up like before like maybe 36 seconds, and I went to real neck choke without the hooks in the back. But she asked for a rematch in Polaris. It was a 15 minutes match. Before me, she had fight Cesar Matuda. She finished her with the arm triangle. And she did try the same with me, but I am not looking for excuse or whatever. She did it great. She couldn't get the submission that she want. Um, I'm a really hard like scramble fighter. It's like really hard to get me in a submission. But however, we know that Fiona Davis come from a way heavier division to make her 55 kilos. And she have the build of a big woman. Compared to me, that I'm like 5'1", not even 5'1", you know. Um, I would be ready for her for sure. In grappling perspective, I would love to be competing way more. I'm glad that I'm on the Fight to Win card, but my main focus definitely MMA. It's really sad at this point, and I cannot tell you how much more tournaments I could be competing by now in grappling. But like I told you before, if I am focusing something, I'm gonna put my head 100%. And I would love, yes, to compete Medusa, a super fight with Fiona, or all those upcoming girls like the one that just fought Tubby, Brianna. She's very good, brown belt. This girl that I'm gonna fight is also a good upcoming. She have good wrestling. All these girls, I keep eye on them. I've been watching them since they were purple belt. You know, um, it's excited. I would love to fight with Fiona to do better and maybe at some extent judo with her. But when I fought her in Polari, I just had found out I had a rotator cuff, like rotator cuff injury, and I didn't know was the motive of my pain. And after I was being Manchester for the Polaris, I got back home, and I was in Orlando back then, and I found out that I have like two tears on my shoulder, and I couldn't understand why I felt so weak, couldn't do a push up and stuff like this. And I believe I couldn't perform as better because of this, but again, it's past. It's not excuse. And definitely, if I would fight Fiona, any of those girls, I would perform as better like I perform at Nogi Worlds.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. I know that your main focus is MMA now, but I'm sure that, like you said, you do have some names on your list that you still want to compete with in grappling, like you said.
100%. I keep watching. I keep studying. You know, like I keep like trying to update myself. Off. I'm not like so like far range of the other competitors. I still in the second. It's crazy. What I don't understand is like I am in the second best in the world, whatever in pro grappling ranks. I didn't even know. I just knew because somebody else posted. Because before Nogi Awards, I had probably 2 years of no competition at all. You know, but I keep sharpening myself. Like I told you, I'm in the gym from 9 a.m. and sometimes in the morning to like to like 9 p.m. at night. So like I eat the gym. So there's no way to not be good and not be ready for anything, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And not to look too far ahead, But, around this time of year, this first month of the year, a lot of people like to plan out their year and see where they envision themselves being at the end of the year. Do you have any idea of where you want to be by the end of 2022?
Of course, I intend to fight at least 3 times or 4 times this year or more, depend of how much damage I get for each fight. Um, and I plan to not get no damage, of course. But however, however, yes, I want to be in UFC by the beginning of the year, or in any other big company. But like I told you, my main goal is UFC. I don't want to bounce around. Just if I do not have the option, it is my only goal. Like I never really intend to be a 6-time jiu-jitsu world champion. I know my head is settled to be a UFC champion. Maybe by 2023, be in UFC, sign up with the UFC with a good contract, and going from there. And maybe 2 years or 3 years from now, depends how my strike go and everything. I want to be between the 10 best in the world and UFC. And my division specs, I'm sure that I won't have any problem to get a matchup.
That's right. And that journey continues here next month at Titan FC. Before I let you go, do you have any sponsors that you want to shout out? How can people follow you on social media? This is your chance to just
Of
promote
course.
whatever you need to promote.
I wanna thank to God first to keep me like healthy to be able to fight. My team, America Combat Gym, Charles McCarthy, Ryan Markish, all the coaches, Gregory Chaplin, Nikolai, Coach Des, and all the other staff at the gym that make like my dream come true every day and make me work as hard as possible. Um, my family, of course, and my sponsors, Fight to Win Promotions, Albino and Preto, Brad Bowen, and other sponsors that I have, all the financial sponsors that helped me through my career. I would like to say thanks to Jesse Davidson law firm, and his friend, I think actually that's also helped me a lot, and many others. But so far that's only ones that I can be grateful to. And my Instagram is Talita Alencar BJJ. Follow me up. Ana Talita 19 in Twitter. Um, TikTok and others the same, Talita Alencar. I expect new follows there, and let's interact. Thank you so much.
Yes,
For
thank you.
you.
Best of luck tonight and best of luck in your next MMA fight as well.
For sure. For sure. Thank you so much for your attention, patience.